All right, once you get to a point where you're happy with your painting and you're printing and it looks good, and then you let it dry, you can go back on top of your painting and draw in details with pastels, and you can add some more detail to make the water maybe look a little more ripply like water. So let's see how I might go about doing that using just white, maybe some white, blue, and gray. So I'm just gonna kind of play around with it and see what happens. I'm gonna add in some like water ripples. If you ever look at a lake, I can just draw lines to kind of make it look more watery. So there's like those ripples in the water. Just some little scribbly lines. It might look a little more watery. And you can mix up, mix it around, grays, blues, because the water is always moving, so it will catch the light differently, just like how the impressionists were talking about trying to capture the light, We're seeing different parts of the light and the dark. I'm gonna use a little white in here to add some highlights. Maybe you want to smear it around a little bit. Really want to look a little more ripply in my reflections. But I don't want to cover up my cool looking trees and stuff. Just kind of give it a little more feeling there. Soften up those clouds a little bit. Maybe add some texture into the clouds. Get those ripples up front here. And it kind of looks a little more like a lake reflection. You can see the ripples, but the reflection is there. Maybe I'm feeling like I don't want to go too crazy. I want to let the painting do a lot of the work, but maybe I want to add some details. Like maybe I did want to turn this into a snow-capped mountain. And now the drawing part, you got to be careful, because if you add things in your top drawing, you want it to match the bottom. So if I'm making a snowy mountain up here, should my reflection be snowy? Yeah, so I got to kind of work that in. But I don't want to make it as obvious. Just kind of hint it in there, and then I got to go back and fix my ripples so it looks like it's under the water, like reflecting in the water, not drawing on top. That looks pretty good. You can kind of tell, yeah. I lucked out that I didn't print too much white down there. Maybe I want to clean up these clouds a little bit, make them a little more puffier, a little fluffier, and kind of add some pastel fluffiness to the edges. And I probably don't need to do too much drawing on top of my painting, because I want the painting to kind of do the work of creating the landscape. These are just little details that we want to add on. Just fluffing up those edges there. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. That looks a little more ripplier, nice little mountain scene. Looks pretty good.